the feeling that you start to get is you start to feel more positive. You start to feel more happiness. You start to feel more love for yourself. And in turn, the universe gives you exactly that. It gives you the love. It gives you positivity. It gives you more positive experiences to validate that new thought in your head. It's giving you experiences to say, yes, the thoughts in my head are real. The thoughts in my head are true. Whatever you think, that's what the universe is saying. It's saying the thoughts in my head are real. What my mind is showing me is real, because it is. But it's like you gotta learn how to take back control of your mind, free your mind, so that way you can change your reality. How you what? It's your girl Connie, and you are back watching another episode of A Free Mind, where we take back the control of our minds instead of allowing our minds to control us and our reality. Y'all, we're gonna get straight into this episode. I want to thank everybody here for clicking this video. If you are here, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, so that way you will be notified and ready to tap in when it's time to tap in. Okay, y'all, so we're going to get straight into this episode. I wanted to talk about how to really take back control of your mind and stop letting your mind control you. Now, I am starting to reread a book that I've read a year ago, called Mastery of Self. If you have not read that book or you have not heard of it, it's a really, really good book. It's a short read. I think it's like 127 pages, so it's like real quick. And within the book, it also has like little things you can do to like practice, and I think that is actually what helps you the most, like evolve while reading the book or grow, whatever they want to call it. So in the book Mastery of Self, it talks about how we're allowing different situations, circumstances, domestications, indoctrinations, and things of that nature control our minds. And so on this podcast, I cannot, I'm gonna stress it, but I can't stress it enough about how important our minds are. And I say that because our minds are either going to help us to achieve the life that we want, or really destroy us. Like, it could really do that. Like, it could really take us out of here real quick. Like, our mind is a powerful tool, and you have to know how to use your mind in order for it to work for you, in order for you to be able to control it, in order for you to be able to free your mind from the control that it has on your life. And so within the book, it pretty much just talks about how we have we have a way of like believing things that we necessarily don't believe, but we were told to believe it through, our parents, schools, things like that. And it really just has you like reflect on some of these beliefs, on if they actually really sit well with you, or if they actually really resonate with you. So like a great example that he had in the book was about when we were as kids, we were told to eat all our food. And our body will tell us that we're full and that we need to stop eating. But our parents or whoever, they will, press the issue of, oh, you gotta finish this food, because you got people out there starving in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And don't be wasting your food or I'm gonna beat you. Now, I don't know if anybody got beat, but I'm just saying, we've been told you have to finish your food. And within doing that, we're not listening to our body. And our body is telling us, baby, you full. You don't need no more. You good. And so it's like little things like that we've been told to do that probably goes against our true selves, right? And so you have to really go through the book if you're going to read it and actually do like the little lessons that it has you do, because that's how you're actually going to figure out like, oh, what are these things that I really believe in, or what are these things that I don't believe in, whatever, you know what I mean? So like definitely check that out. I don't really want to talk about the book, but just just like me reading it again, it just brought me back to like awareness. Like it just brought me back to understanding and realizing where I've kind of like veered off in a way. And we all go through that phase where we veer off. And so when it comes to our minds and how powerful our minds are, our reality can literally shift with just a thought. Our reality can literally shift with just a thought. If I'm constantly thinking a certain way, then my reality will then project that. Or then my mind will then project that reality in real life. Whatever you are thinking is a reflection of your life. Your life is also a reflection of what you're thinking. So you can look at, and this is easy to do this because it's easier to always see things in other people before you see it in yourself. And so you can look at people around you and within your environment or in your space or your friendship, whatever community, you can look at people and you can really tell what their dominating thoughts are based on their reality and how they move. It's a great way to read people. And it's a great way to read yourself and figure out yourself. Figure out what are your dominating thoughts. Like, it's so crazy how powerful our minds are and how they work the way they work. Let me tell y'all. So, before I started this podcast or whatever, I always saw myself doing something big, but didn't know exactly what, because when I tried to do different things, it didn't either work out right or whatever, blah blah. So in my mind, I kept telling myself that you've tried all these different things that you really love and you really like, and you just suck at them. Not that I suck at them, but I suck at turning them into something big. And for a long time, I began to tell myself that I would not be able to achieve that lifestyle that I see for myself. Am I there yet? No, not exactly, but I'm working towards there, right? But it's like for a long time, I would tell myself like it's not, like it's just not gonna happen for you, baby. It's not gonna happen. You know, you've got past situations that if you were to be big, you would hate for that to come to light, or you would hate for people to just simply be in your business, or you would hate for even false information to be started about you. Like I just had so many different like thoughts about like why I could not have the life that I saw myself having. And what that did was it kept me from doing anything. It kept me from starting this podcast. It kept me from taking those little hobbies and those little things that I enjoy doing and turning them into something big, because even though I continue to still kind of like try some things, they didn't work out because of how my mind was controlling my life. Like when I say my mind really controlled my life in so many different areas, it controlled my life as far as in like what I see for myself as far as in career, relationships, friendships, um, with family, with money. Like I literally, my mind was so like controlled. Like my mind was controlling the freak out of me. Like I kept myself at a area where I only made a certain amount of money, and I could only keep a certain amount of money just based on my thoughts. I kept running into situations where I'm losing friends all the time because in my mind I'm telling myself that, I'm not capable to have friends, and that, it always friendships for me always end bad. And it's just like I've always had my mind controlling my reality. And when I realized that all I needed to do was shift my thoughts and shift how I spoke, everything else then starts to change. And it doesn't just immediately change, it is a journey of things changing. You do see somewhat of like immediate like shift, but as far as in like that, you still got your long term goals and things like that and whatnot. But y'all, like, whatever your dominating thoughts are, is a reflection of your reality. Like, if you the type, or somebody who's the type to is just negative, they're always in negative experiences, that's because their thoughts are negative. They think of these negative instances before they even happen. They can predict these negative things to happen to them before they even happen. Like, I know someone who, every time I talk to them, I check in and call them, and I be like, hey, how you doing, with the woo or whatever. And they be like, oh, you're the only person that ever, calls and just checks on me, or and not just calling just to ask for something. And if that probably is true for this person, that nobody calls and checks on you. But in your mind, you constantly telling yourself and thinking the thoughts of nobody calls to check on me, anytime somebody calls me is because they want something, then the universe is going to give you exactly that. When you can only see that people are only calling you to ask you for something, then your mind is only going to put a lens on those moments versus the moments that, somebody actually does call to check on you. You'd be like, oh, well, this is just random, somebody calling and check on me. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, because 9 times out of 10 people, always only call to ask me for something. But this one time that somebody does call, I don't even really appreciate it, because it doesn't happen all the time. But instead of thinking like that, it's change your mind and change your thoughts to be like, oh, people call me because they know that I have something to offer. People call me because they know that I am of some sort of help to them. People look to me for advice. People look to me for these things that they come to me for, because they know that I can provide them. So instead of looking at it like, people only call me because they want something from me. Look at it like, I'm providing a service, or I'm doing something good for somebody. Change how you think about something, and then the universe will then start to show you that positive outcome more than it will show you the negative. And I meant to say it will like magnify. So when you're constantly thinking that negative thought, it magnifies those moments of people are only calling because they want something, versus people call me because they know I can provide them something. You know what I mean? And I get it. Nobody wants to, people, I get it. Okay. Nobody wants to only be called because you want something from them. You know what I mean? Like, people want to be checked on. People have feelings. I get that. And then, so it's like, my question then to this person is, if people are only calling because they want something from you and you feel like that's such a bad thing, what are you doing to make them call you and continuously only call you to ask you for something? Because that's the thing. We always tend to look at what's happening on the outside instead of what's happening on the inside. Because it's something that you got going on that is like, it's like the cause and effect. That's a universal law. Cause and effect. It's something you're doing within that is causing people to only call you because they want something. That's just how the universe works. I don't make the laws, I don't make the rules, it just is what it is. Self-reflect would be the answer. Self-reflect and change your perspective on that negative situation that you view to be negative. And then once you change that perspective, then you'll start to see it in a more positive way of, dang, people truly value me. People truly value the things that I have to offer. So it's like when you're in that state of viewing something one way, and the universe magnifies experiences to match those thoughts, to match what your mind is telling you, you end up becoming maybe angry, sad, depressed, having these low level feelings. Versus you changing that perspective, you changing that thought, you changing that way your mind is like showing you this, then you start to see yourself as I'm worthy. People call me because I'm worthy of something. I'm worthy enough to be able to help people. People see me as a leader. People see me as someone that they can call to provide them something. You know what I mean? And then the feeling that you start to get is you start to feel more positive. You start to feel more happiness. You start to feel more love for yourself. And in turn, the universe gives you exactly that. It gives you the love. It gives you positivity. It gives you more positive experiences to validate that new thought in your head. It's giving you experiences to say, yes, the thoughts in my head are real. The thoughts in my head are true. Whatever you think, that's what the universe is saying. It's saying the thoughts in my head are real. What my mind is showing me is real, because it is. But it's like you gotta learn how to take back control of your mind. Free your mind so that way you can change your reality. When you free your mind, you're the one that's in control. You're the one that's in control of your life. You're the one that's in control of really everything that comes your way. You're in control of everything. And it may seem like, oh, that's not true because, life happens, life. Life definitely lifes. But when life lifes, how you view it is going to play a big role in, it's like a domino effect. I don't want to even use that. I was about to use an example, but I'm not going to use that example. I'm not about to say that out loud, baby. Say that fast. I know, I'm sorry. But for an example, say somebody's car breaks down and one person may view it as, oh my God, this is the end of the world. I don't know what I want to do. Get back and forth to work. What am I going to do? I'm not going to be able to make any money. I'm not going to be able to move freely how I'm used to. And then, I don't have no insurance, this and that, woo woo. And then another person will view it as, just got in a car wrecked, but guess what? I still have my life. So that's a plus. I did just get in a car wreck, and I don't have insurance. I don't have, anything like that to really get me a new car right now. But I could Uber back and forth to work so I can keep making money, so that way I can, it might be hard to save, but I know I'll be able to save because I'm still going to get back and forth to work. I've probably been outside too much anyways. I probably should just sacrifice, hanging out outside all the time and just really just probably pick up more shifts at work, or put in more hours at work to make more money, so that way I can save up for a new car, or something like that. Or, and you know what? I might even be able to get that dream car that I've always wanted. Or maybe not even my dream car, but my top top two car, out of my top three. You know what I mean? I might be able to really get something that I actually like. There's so many different ways to view things. And there's two different ways to view things. And once you choose to change your thoughts, take back control of your mind, you then change your reality, and you change the outcomes that come to you. You're going to bring so much more positivity into your life. I know people right now that survive on negativity. I know people that all they know is negativity. And I'm not saying that they're a bad person for that. They just don't understand the power of their mind and the fact that their mind has control over their life. When you learn to become, in control of your mind, I'm telling you, you change your whole world. And so, all right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I don't know what I was just doing with my hands, but y'all tap in with your girl. Thank y'all so much for being here. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week.